Welcome to the episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Episode 3.
Of season 6?
6. Feels like there's been so much more that I can't believe it's only 3.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was an action-packed episode once you got past all the boring stuff.
All 3 episodes, I think, have been pretty action-packed. There's definitely been a lot of
Yeah.
They save the surprisingly they save the intensity for the end. But,
weird how they do that. It's so crazy.
But you're right. The first half was very just like, what's going on in our lives?
I believe it was the definition of humdrum.
I thought the Bronwyn stuff was very interesting.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yes.
The Bronwyn stuff.
I feel like we really are getting to know a lot of who she is and things she's only told us about, how difficult it was getting pregnant and as a single mother and whatnot with her parents, and very sad about 10 years with Alzheimer's is just horrible. And unfortunately, shortly after filming, her dad passed away, and to have her mom, her own health issues, and it all made sense. Like when she's talking to her mom, when she's talking to Todd, and this need to have everyone like her, and this need for approval, and how she felt like she disappointed her parents when she got pregnant in college and didn't finish BYU, and it's just, she's a very interesting character, and I'm glad that we are seeing more of that, and instead of just like the weird fashions or whatever, it's like, oh, this is like the real person behind all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. It's weird watching people interact with their parents on TV because like there are things that her mom definitely said that I don't know that I would have registered as being a slight. Mm-hmm. I could tell they weren't quite nice, but I would she was on oh wow, that's a dig, things like that.
Yeah, instead of saying you're a gold digger, it's like you couldn't have survived without Todd.
Yeah,
and his support, you couldn't have made it.
I mean, it doesn't sound the best, but I could see that saying you needed you got to where you are because of Todd. He definitely supported you through a lot of your tough times, and without him you would have struggled more. But her mother did not say it that way.
No, just he gave you the boost that you needed,
right? As
opposed to
he gave you the money that
he gave you the life.
Yeah.
That you become accustomed to.
Yeah, it was a little, I was like, okay, that's shady for sure.
And then at the end, when you go through this with Todd, it's like, whoa, I know he's old, Mom, but
And that was funny that you could at least laugh at that and say, I'm used to getting Todd is old comments, but from you,
calls coming inside the house.
Yeah. But I mean, that is true, unfortunately. I do, we always, well, I don't know if we joke about it, but you and I are close in age.
Yeah.
So we always talk about, which one of us is going to go first. And, but in certain situations where you're, relationships where someone is much older than you, well, it's pretty obvious who's going to go first and the sort of things you'll have to deal with.
Uh-huh.
But I keep thinking the same thing, about just in general, how people, are having kids so much later in life, and how there's going to be, there's bound to be an entire industry that pops up over, hi, I'm 22 and my parents are 75. How do I handle this?
Right. How do I navigate wills and trusts and all the things I need to know, and memory care, and there should be something set up because it's something you, as a 20-something, you don't think of,
right? But
you have to, especially if you're an only child in a lot of these cases,
right.
And so
yeah. So I mean, it's just that whole idea of the difference in ages, and from when our parents were parents versus now people are becoming parents in their 50s and 60s, and what does that mean? So yeah, just what I'm trying to say is, aside from the dig at Todd's way older than you, just these generational gaps are definitely going to prove to be more and more prevalent, and hopefully more and more spoken of in the future, because there's nothing wrong with the fact that they have such an age difference. I think the reality is that at some point she will be dealing with a mental decline and home care. I mean, hate to say it, it's not at all the same thing really, but Erica and Tom on Beverly Hills.
Oh, right. No, had he not did what he did, she would be dealing with that, you know, as a married woman. Her husband's declining, and yeah, I never thought about that. Had he not did the illegal activity and also cheated on her, etc., they would still probably be together, as she thought. But then this decline, and then, yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, sorry.
In her life, yeah.
Still big bit of a downer to talk about. So let's move back. Where did this episode start?
Before the Rowan stuff, it was Elisa and her braggadocious ways.
And her micromanaging of the event. Turn this table sideways.
Steve Carell's coming. Don't spill anything on him. I don't doubt that she is hanging out with celebrities and whatnot with her whole tequila business, but it's just the name dropping is just really, I know it's housewives are supposed to do that, but it's just like the thrill it gives her is just like,
so
whisper a little bit more. She doesn't know how to whisper.
Right. So one thing I noticed in the background while she was talking to someone, whether it was after John Barlow made that wonderful, like, oh, so many jokes can be made.
Yeah.
There is an HBO logo on a screen behind them. So my guess is that the Vita Tequila Lounge, the premiered lounge, was hosting an HBO event.
You know what it was? It was that Steve Carell, that HBO movie they did where it's like the four tech bros.
Oh, I think.
And they're up in the one we didn't watch. Because yes, they're like stranded and like the world's ending and like they can't use their money or they have to. I don't know. I can't remember the details, but yeah, that's what it was. And that you're right. That's exactly what it was.
So I don't think that I don't think Vita Tequila got, Steve Carell and everyone there. I think that the area, the space that she has for Vita Tequila was hosting an event.
I think Vita was hosting the after party, it sounded like, for this event.
Right.
So, which is still like a big thing. I guess maybe they filmed it in Salt Lake.
Maybe.
I don't know. Or otherwise, like, why would they be having it?
Part of it takes place in Parks. We should maybe watch that movie. I thought it looked interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the sort of thing where it's like, I think she's bragging about things that like are adjacent to her work.
Right. You're not, you're not wrangling the talent. You're not the studio executive. You're just throwing the party that you'll see them at for like a minute, but you're not hanging out with Blake and Ben necessarily.
Right.
Yes.
Like they aren't showing up and saying, hey, I can't wait to see Lisa Barlow. It's like,
right.
So again, it doesn't negate the fact, and I don't want to detract from any accomplishments. I mean, that's still more than we're doing. I mean, we'd love to have a housewife on the podcast, but she's hanging out, or at least in the same room with these people.
Right. It's not negating. It's not like diminishing. It's just, it's the annoying thing. It's great that she's doing that. It's the only thing is like the bragging of it and saying, I live a different life, even to her fellow housewives.
Right.
Like, again, as I said on other shows, we're all on the same show trying to earn the same check or snowflake in order to continue on the show to like reap rewards from the platform.
Right.
So this above it all attitude that both she and Meredith have, you are on the same footing.
If you're so good and and you're so much above us, then just you don't need.
You wouldn't do the show.
Yeah.
If you were a true socialite, Amy, you wouldn't be on this show. I'm sorry, because like that's why they don't have old money on, say, old New York money, because those people won't do the show because they don't need to, and they don't want the attention and the negative like just ridiculousness brought into their lives, whereas these women choose to bring it into their lives.
Can Carrie Coon host SNL so they can do like a Real Housewives of New York with like the Gilded Age people? I think that would be amazing.
Like a reunion, like they. In character, that's a great skit.
No.
Carrie Coon should host in general because she's a great actress,
right?
And she's a versatile, go from like that to Gone Girl to like
from like she's in Gone Girl.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
To go from like White Lotus to Gilded Age.
Yeah, so good.
Yes.
Yeah. So that whole party was, but
whatever.
That's the thing is that like also I think, had we seen the party and had we seen Steve Carell and everyone show up?
Right, but they didn't agree to film that.
So
the thing is, it's like we would root for you so much more if you weren't throwing in our faces beyond a Housewives way.
Right.
So, yeah.
So then Angie goes over to her dad's house, very modest house with, if it was an episode of House Hunters, someone would have to gut that kitchen. Those appliances
That is so
old. No, it's a very fine house.
Yes.
Fine house. I really enjoyed all the family photos on the wall.
Yes.
Including the giant, panoramic, family portrait.
Where there's so many kids, they have to do panoramic.
Right.
Because they're Greek.
It was, I feel like we've heard his story before, in previous seasons or more.
Maybe bits of it. Yeah.
I don't know that we needed to hear it again necessarily. It was interesting getting some more details, I suppose.
Well, what's funny is that she didn't mention until she saw Heather that she was getting her Greek citizenship.
Oh, right.
Which I'm sure will of course lead to the Greece trip later on in the season. But you think she would mention it to her dad, oh, I want to be, this is my homeland in a sense, and now I'm going to become a citizen. And,
It's interesting to hear her say about how she's trying to, impart this to her daughter, to Electra. I always forget her name's Electra.
Who doesn't care.
Right. Who's just whatever.
She's like, you're going too far with this Greek thing, Mom.
Yeah. I'm going to bring it up here because Jeff and I were going to go to Salt Lake City on a trip before COVID. Is that what the plan was? Or was it?
It would have been after because Salt Lake wasn't on our radar.
Oh, you're right. So anyway,
yeah.
We were going to go to Salt Lake at some point. We ended up not going for whatever reason. We
thought about it. We didn't have
Well,
you were looking into it.
Anyway,
sorry.
One of the things that Jeff loves French fries. I mean, most people in the world love French fries. But Jeff too. And so I remember I would work at a theater in Salt Lake City, and when I was done, I would go across the street, and I would eat burgers and fries at this one place, and they had everyone was like, "Oh, you got to eat here. It's great. It's great. It's great." And I looked up the scene with Angie and her daughter. They were eating at it's a franchise or a chain in Salt Lake. They were eating at one of these places. So I looked it up. And I'm like, yeah, that's the place across the street from the theater where I was going to take Jeff we went, and he could have enjoyed the wonderful French fries. And I'm just so, that's me geeking out. I know where that is, or at least where one of those chain restaurants is. But
were they eating onion rings?
It's just, yeah, I'm sure it's just deep fried, everything great. Secret sauce or special sauce, I forget what they call
it.
Fry sauce, thank you. Oh, it's so good. It's just Thousand Island dressing and ketchup, but
sounds amazing.
It's unbelievable. And they're crinkle cut fries. I know you're not a huge fan of crinkle cut fries, but
if they're good, if the fry is good, I'll eat any fry iteration.
Perfect. Awesome. But I'm just so excited. That makes me want to go to Salt Lake again. I haven't been to Salt Lake City in probably 20 years now.
Really? Not since the early 2000s?
Yeah.
And that was for work?
That was for work.
Not to seek your kin?
No, not to seek my kin. So I when I was in Salt Lake last, I did open a phone book. That's how long ago it was. And then my last name was in there millions of times. And I was like, well, this is what it's like if your last name is Smith. Especially in Salt Lake if your name is Smith.
Oh my God.
I'm sure it's even worse.
Thousands and thousands.
I was like, pages and pages of my family. I'm sure we're related somehow. We all have 14, great grandparents. Polygamy.
You could be kin to Whitney or Heather.
I'm sure we're distant cousins. I mean, I can trace myself back to Joseph Smith. There's a whole book about it, apparently. So, not specifically about me and my family, but in Salt Lake, you can pay for that sort of thing. Genealogy through the temple's pretty easy. Anyway, this is my story.
That's a good story.
And then we end up getting in Salt Lake in the show. They go to Lisa's party.
Well,
shooting, right?
Yes, I guess we discussed the whole Heather Angie thing, and just it was a good, interesting conversation of being moms and not being needed as much, and Heather and her den or annex that she's creating.
Oh, right,
for her third book.
Yeah, it's a nicely shaped room. I thought it was interesting looking.
Yes.
I like that she was choosing between Easter egg colors. Do I paint this pastel green, pastel pink, or pastel blue?
I think Angie said rosé.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was the same.
Yeah, no, it was no, but what I found interesting about that is that Heather was being critical of Lisa, but then
I thought it was great that Heather is saying, I want to maintain this friendship and stay in a good place, but she makes it hard when she diminishes me. And again, I'm so above here and you don't understand my life. How could you get it? I'm on the same show. I'm on the same couch. Like we all know Andy Cohen. We all are doing this thing together. Like,
and that's the thing that I think that, you know, they end up, because everything starts screaming later. It's like, it's frustrating when people do that. I've had some friends who try to make it out to be that, like, oh, their life is so much more exciting. And it's like, okay, for you, it is.
That's
like,
your choice.
That's your choice. Like, don't shit on other people just because they aren't running around with Ben Affleck or they aren't doing X, Y, or Z.
And that's the thing when we like segue to Lisa. It's like it's the constant comparison of I'm better. You would understand, like, you didn't go to college. Like, it's always a put down. She puts down women. Like, Bronwyn called it so wisely, like the misogyny coming from you and how you are putting down women and just like, you're a whore, you didn't go to college, you don't have a business, like, you know, that's not your hair. I mean, like,
I didn't call you a whore. I didn't call you a whore. You said I suck dick for money.
That's the definition of a whore or a sex worker, if you want to put it in other terms. Exactly. But like, you just whack. So yeah, this whole like, first I'm going to do skeet. I didn't need the skeet shooting. Thank you very much.
Well, also, I don't believe for 1 minute that any of, well, I mean, I'm sure they hit their target.
They did.
I don't know. They're just, it could very easily.
Didn't. Yeah.
Well, they could have edited together any number of things. Like, just make it look like he did it. And they did.
Right.
So,
I forgot my straw.
I didn't mind the skeet shooting. I thought it was cool. It made me think of Hunting Wives. And I was just like, are they doing this because they know that was a show that was popular? But that was all filmed way back when.
Right. They were ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the curve.
And no one's a lesbian. Or bisexual.
Is no one on Salt Lake?
No. I know you think like, you're like, Whitney? No.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen her, you know, she's gone to gay bars. She supports the community.
Yes, she and Bronwyn. Yes. And anyways.
So I didn't mind the skate shooting. I also, as much as you're like kind of like, Amy, like I kind of like Amy being there. Like I like them having other friends that aren't necessarily friends of.
Yeah.
And it's very evident that Amy was trying out, or they were like testing
they're trying
her.
To see like, oh, an actual socialite, and she knows everybody already. But
that's how Angie K got on the show. I mean, before Angie H and Angie K, you know, like they were kind of just not even friends of. They were being tested, right?
Right. Well, they were friends. Angie was just, they were friends of.
Okay.
Yeah, and that season, whatever it was, the one where Jen poured the champagne on Angie's head.
I think it's 3.
Yes.
Because I think Jen wasn't there after that. So anyway.
It didn't come to that reunion.
Right.
Yes.
But all I'm saying is I think it's great to have other people on the show that aren't necessarily sticking around or staying. It's not her fault. And I think that they're just giving her that Utah socialite, like, title, because what else are they going to tell? Like, they're not going to be like, oh, woman we were testing for the show.
Well, because normally it's like so-and-so's friend, but I guess she's everyone's friend. They didn't want, like, you know, limit it. So it's like, then just say everyone's friend.
That's true. And I guess it also does give it a little bit more, like, when she's kind of standing there and being like, what the hell's going on? Like, gives it more of like a, whoa, hey, you know, keep this away from me sort of thing.
I'm a socialite.
Right.
That scene where they showed all of Lisa's lawyers, and it's like...
legal disclaimer, none of these are Lisa's lawyers.
Really? Claire Huxtable is not Lisa's lawyer?
And like,
Shut up.
That's a poll that you, like, if you were to ask, like, what did Claire Huxtable do on the Cosby Show? You'd have to think for like at least a minute before you're a lawyer. You'd be like, what did she do?
Right. Because it wasn't like as prominent as him being a doctor.
As an obstetrician.
Yes.
Which
in his basement.
Which is weird. Oh, it's
yes.
Context.
Well, that came up when that one documentary we were watching. We're like, everyone was like, "Oh, right, that's right." He would see patients in his basement.
Yeah. Well,
lower level.
Moving on.
Sorry, I took it there. So yes, the clarity line where she basically is
just screaming over everybody.
No, let's start with the poster boards.
Right.
One could make it Kinko's.
Right.
Or FedEx Plus, whatever. And I said it's dismissed, so it's dismissed. And Meredith saying, well, this isn't good for a court of law, but it proves the point. It proves nothing.
No.
I love how Ron was just like, this proves nothing. This is embarrassing. This is bullshit.
Right.
And just like walked on, like, this is photoshopped. she's on a boat. Like this is years ago.
Yeah, the other photos, like, what are you doing?
These are not courtside tickets.
And like, it's two things there. Like, one, if the women weren't necessarily just harping on that, but like, it would have been helpful had Lisa acknowledged it, that like, true, these don't prove anything. These are things that I printed up, but here's what they mean. Like, this one lawsuit, we denied everything, and because we denied everything, they couldn't, then it was dismissed. But Lisa was kind of hanging her hat on this proves, and all it was a list of Barlow denies, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be in a motion at some point.
As Bronwyn said, and she doesn't have a legal degree, like a law degree like Meredith, but, dismissed versus, denied, two different things.
Well, all Lisa printed, though, that big list of denies, was saying that she, as the defendant, denied these things were true.
As a defendant.
Right.
So it doesn't mean, though, that they were not all dismissed. They're still ongoing. And yes, Lisa, even I know that you're going to get sued when you are a big business and a famous person and on Housewives. But not everyone is going to get, and it's just like, she just made it seem like, oh, it's just nothing, but it's obviously something, because you're hosting a clarity lunch.
A clarity lunch that you're not allowing anyone to ask questions,
right,
or get clarity.
You want to dictate the lunch as if like, I am totally innocent, like you all are stupid, you don't get how this works because you're not in my world. There again is the gloating and the like, please stop.
What I would have liked is for someone to have actually answered the question, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, where she says, what were you hoping to achieve? Because she never stopped yelling enough to let anyone else explain what they were hoping to achieve.
Well, she asked that of Angie.
Oh.
And Angie didn't get, I feel like, again, Angie, I said it like, it needs to be a little bit quicker. She's like, well, first of all, no, I want to make this point. It's like, be like Bronwyn.
Right.
I was being catty. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said you were like Jen Shah. It was a stupid joke to make. I'm still upset about you from residual bullshit from last season. I want to move on now because it used to be like one of my good friends. That's all she had to say.
Right.
I don't think you're like Jen Shah. You're not robbing from the elderly. I do think you are braggadocious, like braggarts.
Right.
And it's annoying. And you dismiss us. Literally, you're dismissed, as she said to many women, and diminish us and call us whores and think that you're up here and we're down here. This is not the Lisa Barlow show. I know her fans loved the fact that everyone talked about her so much in the first episode, but she's like getting cast member who wasn't there. That was going to happen.
Right.
They would have done the same to Meredith or Angie, whatever.
And that's the thing, is that I do feel a great sense that like what they aren't saying, as much as they break the fourth wall on Salt Lake, they don't do it as much as other shows. And so it's just kind of like, I think Whitney brings it up, like, we've read about this. Of course we're going to talk about it. Like,
or when she just made the point, we get tagged in this stuff.
Right.
Like all the time.
We see it. We're not necessarily part of it, but we're being brought into it. Like, by knowing you, we are associated.
Like, just people posting stuff on social media, they want the other women to get involved. So they tag them constantly. So it becomes not just a Lisa Barlow issue, but like, look, Whitney, at this Lisa Barlow issue. Like, we're supposed to. And then when Lisa said, you're digging, said to Bronwyn, oh, she's a digger. It's like, but then you turn around and say like, oh, why is everyone on TikTok talking about you, Whitney? I don't know, Lisa. Did you dig and find that? Yes, you did.
And that's the thing, is I don't feel, and I probably am wrong if we went back and watched it, I don't feel like the other women were whatabouting Lisa. Like, they were just asking Lisa. I mean, there's a lot of whatabouting, because you're like, well, what about this lawsuit or that lawsuit? So it's bound to happen. But like, they weren't trying to deflect from their own stuff, and they weren't trying, I feel, to like bury her under stuff. I think they were just trying to say, like, if all of this is taken care of, why, what can you point to specifically that says that it is taken care of? Instead, Lisa would, well, what about Whitney's failed business? What about you doing this? What about you doing that? The other, and
unlike Bronwyn, Whitney got so triggered by that, and she couldn't focus on just, Lisa, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about you.
Right.
And that's why Lisa threw it to Whitney. Also, Whitney called it out. So this is the thing too. If you're not so upset about this, if this is like water off a duck's back, the second Whitney said, you're scared, that just launched Lisa into the stratosphere of like, how dare you? And it's like, if you're not scared, you're not going to react to that. Obviously, you are triggered.
Right.
So like, just stop. Again, just like us. All in the same dumb boat.
Can we talk about how when Angie and Lisa were going back and forth?
Yeah.
The minute Angie mentioned her brow girl, Brittany was like, "Is that the same brow girl?" And
who Jared was allegedly hooking up with?
Yeah,
the story?
I was like, that's some good like Brittany trying to insert herself like this. I'm relevant now
because she was dead quiet like this, and then she's like, "Wait a second, here's my moment."
So would you say that Meredith was silent at the campus?
From what we saw, she only said that one thing of, we should talk about this with Lisa. And not Lisa is innocent until proven guilty. Not Lisa couldn't have done this. Not Lisa, I'm sure this is dismissed. And for even Mary to pipe in and be like, you said nothing. Meredith said nothing.
Yeah.
Meredith was not there staunchly defending Lisa like Heather was, or like Brittany was.
Right.
So for Lisa to be like, I know you didn't. And then like that cuts to Heather like, shh. Yeah, she was defending you. Yeah.
Yeah. So she doth.
Or when she calls you a whore, Meredith, like, I am sorry. There's certain things I just couldn't get over. And you saying, we've said this before, you talk about my family, my posing family, and me being a whore and screwing half of New York. I can't. We can't be back on the same terms again. I'm not going to do a Winnie's commercial with you. Or a glam commercial, whatever the hell that glam.
I won't even do a DJ set at your Vita Tequila. Can we talk about the taglines?
We can segue to that.
Late to talk about taglines?
No, we can go back to the lunch.
Oh, dude, is there more of the lunch?
Well, like Whitney losing her
we kind of mentioned Whitney losing her mind.
But throwing the napkin.
Well, she's trying to do a Tamara Judge.
I want to hear the thwack.
I know, the thwack is what made the Orange County napkin throw so much more.
Yes.
So much more.
Tag in a second, but yes. The fact that Whitney... So Lisa throws it back on Whitney and talks about shit about her business, and Whitney just loses her mind, throws the napkin, gets in her face, and then gets like shoved off by Lisa.
What I've noticed about Whitney is that she will react, walk away, and then she comes dangerously close to whomever she just had the altercation. This isn't the first time. She'll like get up there and kind of try and get her face in front of Lisa's, but like she did so in a way that like if Lisa had just moved like an inch in the wrong direction, they would have like whacked heads.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, why would you want to be that dangerously close to someone you're arguing with?
I feel like something similar happened on the season premiere last season with Whitney and Lisa going out.
Yeah, it's just such a weird thing. Like, I wouldn't just be like, hey, we've just been screaming at each other. And like, in the back of my head, even though I never would, I want to kind of punch you. Let me get really close to your face so that maybe,
both she and Angie, like, they could not hold it together. And like, because they both like got up from the table or like, not about my brows, not about my business.
Well, the fact that they were like, she was, again, disparaging the hair salon, you know.
Yeah, it's like, don't talk about Angie has the best hair, okay, Lisa. Don't talk about Angie's hair.
So, yeah, overall, I think great episode towards the end. That last half. The first half, okay, interesting enough, but like, the arguments were good. I don't know. I don't think there's anything Lisa can do right now to me as a fan or a viewer who's going to make me think that she's not knee deep in lawsuits. That
she doth protest too much.
Exactly.
Yes. It's not a simple cut and dry lawsuit. There's more to it.
And I get that like they're ongoing cases and like, by talking about some of them, it can make them worse. I get all that. But like, if there are some that have truly been thrown out, like, she could go ahead and just say some and be like, there was this one, da 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 da, and like be vaguish about it. and then in hopes that they'll bleep names out if that's, whatever.
No, with her, it's just a blanket. It's all bad. It's all dismissed. It's all like nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
I did learn what factoring receivables means today, and
that was so random.
That is so random, and I didn't know what that meant. But I mean, for those of you who haven't looked it up, it's apparently when you sell your invoices to someone else, so that basically you get money now, and then when your customer pays that invoice, whoever bought that gets the full amount.
So you need the money now, but you're not getting it from the person who owes you the money.
Correct.
So you're getting somebody else to pay the money, and then when that original person does pay the money, it goes to that person who
bought it off you. So
why would you do that?
I guess that'd be good. Well, they say it's good if you have customers who pay slowly. So let's say you had a government contract, I guess. Not that Vita Tequila would have a government contract, but
this government.
Well, right now it could take a while before, government pays. But, if it took, if you were saying, I have $1 million coming, but I'm not going to get it for 9 months, you could go ahead, sell it to someone else for maybe, say, $700,000, and you'll get it now, and then they get the other $250,000, so anyway, or three, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, it's interesting. I never knew about that, and I guess
I didn't either.
Doing it. But the way Lisa said, like, she made it seem like, and even the way Whitney recognized it, they made it seem like everyone does that. And I guess that's a way to raise money now when you need it. But interesting.
It was interesting, like how that's like rolled off her tongue. Like I would never thought to bring that up. Like, of course I do that. Do I love my bit? Like I was like, what is this tirade? Like it was a lot of protesting too much, and she went off the rails.
And especially when they were asking her specific questions, like, do you have that other man's credit card in your wallet right now? And it's like, if that's so unheard of, then, no is a good answer.
Then just say, like, Sage, go get my wallet.
Right.
I'll show you. I don't have.
I mean, not that she owes anyone anything like that, but, I mean, again,
that's not the clarity she was bringing. There was no clarity at the clarity brunch. There were no fashions at the fashion show.
I totally get though, like the question, what were you hoping to achieve? And like, I think it's a fair thing to say back. You wouldn't have been talking about it, like if one of us, and that's just
100%, and 100% when the Bronwyn stuff comes up later this season, she will lead the charge.
Well, now because she led the charge against her, so.
But conveniently, Bronwyn can't talk about it.
Convenient.
Because it's sealed.
Good on.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I support Bronwyn in most everything. So
just a blanket statement that?
Not most everything, but I think I like her as a person this season. I don't know if I didn't like her last season, but I'm enjoying getting to know more about her. I like her certain fashions that she pays for those fashions from Kristen Siriano. Doesn't expect to just like be given things.
I enjoyed that Lisa was trying to come at her for the necklace still, which she already explained.
I owned up to it. I lied. You would have known if you'd been at the campsite.
Right. The same way, Whitney is like, I'm getting out of the business. It wasn't working for me. I'm paying back my partner, and
And you would have known that if you'd been at the campsite. But that's the thing. It wouldn't be a safe space for them to talk about things like that, because this woman will flip it around and like use it to berate them and diminish them and treat them like crap. Misogynist.
I can see some of that.
Pure and simple.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. I liked the Todd thing of just because that's me. It's like, why would you want to be friends with this person? Let it go. But I love that Bronwyn said, I need to be liked. Like, that's her honesty. And in certain situations, I really enjoy.
That didn't come off to me as like 100% honest. It seemed like a convenient thing to say to justify it for the show.
Well, but just in general, just knowing how she grew up and like the disappointment that she feels that she, well, not feels, they actually said it to her. We're disappointed that you got pregnant in college and had to leave BYU. Like, I get it, and it makes sense why she seeks people's approval. And, I like Todd saying, like, just let it go. Like, this isn't a friendship worth fighting for.
Yeah.
So.
But I think, again, for, I want to be on the show and I have to get along with this person.
That's what she's, yes. Yeah. Also, she doesn't want to be, I think she recognizes, I don't want to be the problem. So I need to find a way to get along here so that we not move on. So I'm not like not being invited to stuff, or like, you know, they have to be special considerations. Like, oh, Bronwyn and Lisa can't be in the same room together. So I don't think she wants to be like besties with her, but she wants to be like amicable co-workers.
Right. We forgot the Gabs cam again.
Oh, the Gabs
cam. The cam. We need another.
We'll do it for OC.
We'll do it for OC.
Yeah.
I do like. I completely forgot what it was. Something about Bronwyn. It doesn't matter.
What she said.
Amicable. It was something about her being amicable with Lisa. It's good.
Taglines.
Do you have your phone on you? Can you read what I messaged you at work today? Because I think that will that one message where I just listed them off. I'm like, that'll summarize it for me.
And your summation of it, yes.
Also, just raw husbands watching Housewives thoughts.
And so you said Heather, meh, Meredith, whatever, or what the F ever. Bronwyn, cute. Angie, shady. I like it. Whitney, I enjoy forcing a dumb rhyme. Mary, I guess. And Lisa, except she doesn't.
What was hers?
I don't go low. I go the distance. No, you go low.
Yeah.
You go into hell.
And just because you said once, you said, we're going to go the distance on this, and then we never saw any evidence of going the distance.
There's no follow-up with that lawyer.
With that, Lisa Rinna owning it, like she made that her thing.
Yes.
Multiple years. Like, I have not seen Lisa Barlow go the distance.
No.
Like, there's one person I know who goes the distance.
Mariah.
Correct.
And the song, The Distance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Caution album. Great album.
Okay. But what are your thoughts on Heather and the whole like empty nest thing? Like, okay,
that's your story, because what else has she got going on?
But like empty nest kind of stories are just such a cliche at this point. Like
it's that and divorces and yeah.
Right. So just like, okay, you're empty nest. But your thoughts? Sorry.
Bronwyn I liked. Skeleton is cute. I liked Mary's a lot. Like it's just, I like a turn of phrase, and you know, eat, drink, and be merry. It's cute. It's clever.
It just seems like low effort to me. It's just like, my name's Mary, so I'm
it's Mary.
Yes. You know.
I mean, that's Mary.
That'd be like my name being Scott, and I was like, my favorite dog's a Scotty dog. It's just like,
no, but that's not like a phrase. Eat, drink, and be merry. That's clever.
Okay,
very clever. Lisa, whatever. Meredith, was she just like falling asleep? I will drop a beat. You were dropping live. Whatever.
I'm assuming we're gonna see her doing some DJ sets later in the season.
I feel like her DJing started after the season.
We must see something about it, because
I feel like it was like a summer thing that happened. I don't know.
I know. I feel the same way. So I'm just like, it just feels like they're forcing this Meredith Marks as a DJ thing, even though I guess she's technically speaking a DJ.
Well, if God is a DJ, so can Meredith Marks be a DJ, I guess.
I guess. I just don't.
It's dumb.
I don't know.
The same like any celebrity DJ, I just question the validity of the DJing and how many beats you were actually dropping. Sure. And sure. Also,
for someone, I don't know, you think of DJs as being very high energy, and the one person on that show I think of as being the opposite of high energy is Meredith Marks. And don't get me wrong, I love me some low energy, mid-tempo music. But I just can't imagine Meredith Marks being like, all right, everybody, we're playing the Decemberists.
If anyone would be a DJ, it would be like Whitney, because she's like, you know, spry and...
Yes.
And
I could see Angie being a DJ.
For sure.
I could see Heather being a DJ.
Yes.
I just see Meredith Marks being like, and now the latest from Xanax.
Like, who told Meredith she should be a DJ?
Maybe it's...
Was it Brooks?
Probably her lifelong dream, maybe, to be a DJ.
Does Meredith even like music?
That's the thing. Like, maybe she just needed to get a distraction from bathtubs, and she just went ahead with, I don't know.
DJing.
Like, I'm a DJ. Or it's just the sort of thing, like, I get there's a campy factor to a lot of the Housewives, like, appearances. Or, like, they play that up. So, like, you know, I can see that there being a demographic who's like, yeah, Meredith Marks is playing in Provincetown. Let's go to that.
She's a Bear Week.
What? okay, I gotta see that. So I can see that like being a foot in the door. But again, her name doesn't go hand in hand, at least in with like, let's go dancing.
Right? Like at least with like Luann lives and breathes cabaret.
Right.
It makes sense to her to like have this go on for years and years. Meredith is like luxury goods in her store that I guess is still open, caviar, bathtubs, where DJing is just kind of...
I don't understand it. So yeah, that's why I'm what the F ever with that. I'm just like, oh, okay, sure, you drop beats because that's what you're world renowned for.
Dropping the beat. Whitney's with the rhyme. I'm like,
I love that they're really trying hard to keep the rose metaphor in there. Doesn't mind a little prayer. So I do like that they're really trying hard for it. And I like that they really shoehorn that son of a bitch in there. Like, all right. So
that is all right. No, redheads are also
right.
Lisa said redhead, not redneck.
Right.
And I like the subtitled it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's how upset Lisa was, or Whitney was.
Yes.
So
how dare... Oh no. The best was Whitney saying, you know, TikTok's talking about your facelift. I'm not saying anything about that.
Yeah.
Classic housewife.
Angie's tagline.
She's Greek. I love her. I know.
I didn't know that she was.
I thought she was French.
I thought so too.
I was like, en français?
I do like that she's throwing shade at the other women too.
They're tragic.
Like everyone else, everybody else is tragic. I was like, okay.
I liked it. And then, yeah.
Brittany has a tagline because
Brittany should be like, I have an announcement to make.
Wait till she finally does get a snowflake. That'll be her tagline. It better be, I have an announcement to make. I'm fabulous, or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. Get out of my head.
I cannot get out of here. So, well, that was the show this week.
That was the show.
And, yeah, another good, exciting one.
Yeah. I was very excited about getting the schedule for BravoCon today.
I'm disappointed by the schedule for Bravo.
There's certain things I'm kind of like whatever about, but I'm just glad to like know where we're going. Although we still need to figure out where to fit in the photo.
They haven't talked about the photo.
No, that's going to happen to like the week before,
right?
But like it's going to be a very busy 3 days.
It will be. One of the best, or one of the most interesting things that I was like, that actually caught my eye was I want to go to the editors panel.
Yes.
Right?
That's great. Yes.
That weird?
That is like, for sure. Like to hear what they actually do, because everyone's like, oh, the editors are so great. It's like, what is the process?
Right.
That I'm like, asses in the seat.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching that one. So the rest of them, I'm kind of like, we were talking about earlier, 2 years ago when we went, they had shows had their own panel.
Yes.
And while some of them will have their own panel, most of the panels this year for BravoCon seem to be a mishmash with like a themed thing. So it's like,
I think they're trying to be like, so it's not just a reunion without Andy kind of thing.
Right.
So it's like not, because that's kind of what happened with Potomac, especially last time.
Right.
They just want to like have them do something aside, because it's going to get down to like those basic questions of like, if you could bring back any housewife and and to have them like have an activity, and the fact that we're going to like see a bit of the premiere of Beverly Hills, which gives us a better timeline of when that will start.
Yeah.
Sure. I think it'll be interesting. It was interesting that there's not going to be an OC panel.
Right.
But I think they all will be there in various panels. Teddy will be there because it'll be interesting because it's Teddy. It's like a besties panel, like Teddy and Tamara, to Teresa and Alexia, and then
they're besties.
They're good friends.
Everybody knows they're besties, right? Every time you're watching, they're like, Teresa, like my best friend Alexia.
Well, it's just like they're interchangeable. I like to let some people.
So that makes them best friends? Okay.
Sure.
Sure. Now, if it was like Alexia and Marisol, okay.
That's too like, well, that's going to be the Miami panel.
Right, that's true.
So, and there's one other combination that I was like, oh, okay. Because it's like besties from different franchises. Right. So, anywho, that would be cool. But yeah, it's going to be just jam-packed.
Well, and then I realized that like I think they were definitely there before, but I just didn't care because I was just like, my head was spinning from all the housewives. But I was like, oh, there's Southern Charm and
Summer House
and Below Deck.
Hospitality.
And it was like, oh, great. Like, just like in shows we don't watch and I don't really care about. But it made me think, well, at least we'll be able to like go sit down and not have to like pay attention. Like,
Not pay attention.
Mid-afternoon break.
Well, also, I don't know when we're going to find time to like eat lunch.
We'll find a way. We always do. Hunger finds a way.
It's also like, I think we might miss the next gen.
We're definitely going to miss the next gen.
Because it's like,
the airport.
it's like, it's at 4:00. And we have to get there. Yeah,
I saw someone on Reddit, or maybe it was maybe in the Facebook group for BravoCon, saying like, I have tickets for Sunday and I'm a little disappointed. Like, it seems like it's pretty light. And I want to be like, oh yeah, because everyone with 3-day passes is already tired and they're going home already.
Right.
Like,
but they made sure to put Salt Lake on Sunday.
But at like 1:00, so we'll be able to see.
Oh yeah, so they're not gonna put Salt Lake. Yeah.
I'm glad we got a later flight this time.
Oh yes,
we're not beholden to one airline flying in one time a day.
For sure.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk about this next time.
Till next time.